My name is Eva Silverman, and I do watercolor, I cosplay, I do digital art, I do acrylic, and I'm just overall an artist. Since I was little, like I honestly, like some of the earliest pictures that they have of me is just like slapping paint on like various pictures and like little finger paints and stuff like that. I have a ton of artists in my family, so I have my aunt that has been really into art and watercolor, and she's taught me a lot about that. And then I have various like grandparents that are really into art and stuff like that. There are a lot of different artists that I draw from. There's Von Art. Also, he uses a lot of gold in his art, and I really like that. So yeah. I have like 3 favorites because I don't know if I can pick one favorite. I really love watercolor, and then digital art is one of my favorite ones as well because it's just like unlimited resources. Like you don't run out of stuff to do. Like you have like unlimited sheets of paper and like pens and stuff like that you can work with. I also do love traditional art because it just takes you back to a more relaxing sort of like I am working with a physical piece of art that I can't delete and it's gone forever, or it's forever gonna be on a phone unless I print it out. It's something that can't be copied unless you scan it. I think the favorite piece of art that I've done and some of the meaning behind it was probably this one that I did of like this crow dude, and it had to do with like balance and just sort of like new beginnings and stuff like that, because I had a lot of fun messing around with that piece of art because I was during a time in my life where I had a lot of change going on around me and like new things starting and, you know, things being left behind. And I thought like the idea of a crow, because crows usually like symbolize for like death or like something, which I think was really symbolic, at least in that art piece, because it sort of just signals the end of something and the beginning of something new. I've been cosplaying since maybe 6th or 7th grade. I know I was 13 when I first started, so it's been a while. It's been something that I've definitely been keeping up and going at for a pretty long time. There's a huge variety of people in it because I think that there are a lot of people that come to the cosplay community seeking some sort of refuge because a lot of it is non-judgmental, and there's a lot of people that I think can go in there and just like be themselves and express themselves. It's basically just dressing up. Like I think that there are a lot of people that think cosplay is just like anime or like, you know, stuff like video game characters or stuff like that. I love the idea of just transforming yourself into a different person. It is so much fun to just like take yourself out of the shell that you walk around in every single day and put yourself into this sort of like new vessel that you can sort of like interact with and move around with and like express yourself within. It's basically like turning yourself into a piece of art, and I think that that's really fun to sort of just go around and, you know, do something that and look a certain way that like you would never be able to look normally. Yeah. There's a lot of things that you just have to learn about the way that your face structure works and like when going and developing like your own style and way that you want to depict yourself as this character. I think in the beginning, a lot of the struggles that I had to do with like just people's perception on it. It's literally just a hobby. So when people sort of take it out of context and be like, well, if you do this, you're like this, which just means like you're this weird, like strange person. So I think a lot of it was just I tried to hide it. Like I didn't like telling people that I cosplayed, or I remember my mom, she was excited about it because I mean she's excited about my passions and stuff like that. Luckily, I think that's changed a lot over time. Cosplay is definitely more like in media now, especially like since TikTok became more of a thing. Like people don't see it as cringe anymore. Cosplay really sort of helped me to become more comfortable with myself because I was sort of forced to in order to be like public about like one of my favorite hobbies and stuff like that. I think a lot of people judge it because they don't quite understand it. Once I realized that the only way that anything was going to change for me or other people facing the same judgment was for us to just be okay with it and explain it to the people that were confused. The community is also really supportive. Like a lot of people sort of will hype you up and like do different things like that make you feel really good about yourself. Like you'll put a costume on and be like, dang, like I look good in this. My biggest support, I think, was like my mom and my aunts, because my aunt was the one who got me into cosplay and she's the one who sort of introduced me to the whole thing. And then my mom was really just there for me from the beginning. Like she was interested in what it was at first. Yeah, I think everyone sort of finds some sort of escape in making art, because I think that a lot of it is just you're taking yourself out of the norms of reality, unless you're doing realism or something like that. But going out of the realm of what is usually normal or usually something that you deal with in your everyday life. It's always been one of my dream jobs to do something artistic with my life. I think that if the opportunity arose, I'd definitely take it. I think the advice that I would give for anyone starting art or wanting to get into art, someone that is already into art but is sort of at a block or unsure of where they want to go next, is just keep going. Like, we all start somewhere, so really just keeping on it and continuing to work on it through, you know, becoming an artist and growing up and learning things is the only way that you'll get to where you want to be.